Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to this episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. Today we have a story from our brother. He shares with us a very captivating story of how he ended up killing his own grandmother when he went for hunting in the forest. He shares with us his regrets and the deepest scar in his heart. His story is about how his new life after the incident with his grandmother. As usual, I won't mention real name, so I've edited the names to hide the identity of the sender. Without wasting much of your time, let's go and listen to the story.
Hello, my name is Benjamin. I am a Ghanaian from the Ashanti region. I come from a very small village deep within the forest areas of this region. Because we are situated in this area, farming is the major occupation here. Most of the men in this village are also hunters. And I am one of such people. In fact, when it comes to hunting, I can tell you that no one comes close to me in this village. I was known throughout the village for my exceptional hunting prowess and my ability to provide animal food for the village. Because of lack of education, I have decided to help see my children through school, so they can become better leaders when they grow up. The proceeds of my farming and hunting business were what I was using to cater for my family and their education. One day, I didn't have money and my first child had come from school to tell me that the headmaster said, if he does not finish paying his school fees, he was not going to be allowed to write exams. Obviously, I can't let that happen. So, I told my son that I would give him the money on Monday to go and pay for the fees. The day was Friday, and I had just returned from the farm. I went inside my room and brought out my gun. I cleaned it very well. I made sure everything with regards to my gun was working perfectly. I was ready for the night job. I got to the forest in around 10 p.m. There was this tree that I usually sit under. I always rest there, wait for when I feel is the right time to pursue why I went to the forest before I do so. I might have slept. When I woke up, it was 1 a.m. To me it was a perfect time for me to begin my search. I roamed through the forest for almost an hour without me spotting any prey. I decided to walk back to where I started from, and I heard a noise from the woods. I decided to trace the noise. In about 2 minutes of my search, I saw there were hairs of a deer on one of the trees. I said to myself, this must be a good sign. So, I decided to walk further searching for the deer. I again saw some droppings. At this point, I knew the animal won't be far from me. In about some few minutes, I spotted a magnificent doe female deer grazing peacefully in a clearing. As usual, with my experience in hunting, I needed not to make any noise to scare it away. So, without hesitation, I pointed my gun at the deer with precision to ensure a clean shot. I fired at the deer, striking it right in the heart. It let out a cry of pain and fell to the ground, lifeless. As I walked over to examine my kill, something unexpected happened. A strange and eerie transformation began to take place. The doe's body started to shimmer and shift, contorting and changing until a figure emerged from the golden light. To the shock and horror of my life, standing before me was my beloved grandmother, who had passed away many years ago.
Please kindly subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Thank you and let's get back to the story.
As I walked over to examine my kill, something unexpected happened. A strange and eerie transformation began to take place. The doe's body started to shimmer and shift, contorting and changing until a figure emerged from the golden light. To the shock and horror of my life, standing before me was my beloved grandmother, who had passed away many years ago. Let me tell you something, in this line of work, I have seen a lot of things. Most of the things you hear about hunting is true. Because, for me to be this successful in the hunting work, I needed to protect myself, so I went for protection against unforeseen circumstances. So, I never thought a day like this will ever befall me. At this point, I didn't know what to do. The thing is that, there was this peaceful aura around her, which calmed me down a bit. Tears filled my eyes as I realized the gravity of what has happened. She looked at me straight in the face without saying nothing. This woman, that I just shot, when alive, was practically my mother, even though I had my mother around. I did all her errands for her. She would never eat without me. Even when I am not around, she will eat and leave the rest for me to come and have the rest. I will say, she loved all her grandchildren, but then I was the one closer to her. After about 2 minutes, without knowing what to do, my heart was full with guilt and regret. I kneeled beside my grandmother's transformed form. After getting that close and kneeling beside her, she spoke softly. Her voice was filled with sorrow and disappointment. She explained to me what was happening right in front of my own eyes. She said that her spirit had been reincarnated into the body of the deer, only to be taken away by the very hands of her own grandson, who is a hunter. I was confused. So, I asked her if she was trying to tell me that what we've heard about reincarnation was true. She smiled and told me to bring out my water bottle. I brought the bottle and she asked me, "Do you know what is inside the bottle?" I said yes, it is water. She said true. But what about the outside of the bottle? Do you know what is there? I was confused. So, I told her I don't understand. She said, it is not just that I don't understand, I also don't know. What I think I know is just an illusion. The real things are not seen with the naked eyes, unless you transcend this realm into the spiritual realm. She said that there are a lot of secrets even in this world than what our eyes see. She said, as one walks about his or her daily life, so does the spirit. And same way that there are judges in this physical world, so there is in the spirit world as well. So, when after you've left this physical world, whatever you did to a living thing, you will be judged. And if it is for you to come back and pay for the wrongs you did, you will be reincarnated in order for you to pay for the things you did. I asked if it means every animal in the forest or human beings are all reincarnated souls. She smiled again, just the way my grandmother does before she will answer you when you asked questions during the time she was alive. She said, some it is their first time, and others, they've come over and over again. I was overcome with grief and remorse, unable to fathom the consequences of my actions. So, I wanted to ask her more questions, but she said she had a message for me and her time is almost up for her to leave. She told me to stop hunting, and never to take another form of life, be it human or animal. She said if I am able to do this diligently with sincerity, maybe my karma will be reversed. So, I asked her what karma was, and she said, in simple terms, the reward for what you do here on earth. Just after these words, she told me to walk about some meters away and get her some leaf of this tree called in our local language Nyam Dua, which translates into English as Astonia. I went for the leaves, only to return to find nobody there. This was the shock of my life. When I came home, I understood why. When my grandmother died, I used to see her in my dreams. And in some of the dreams, it was always about her asking me to go look for a better thing to do and stop the hunting. I never understood those dreams until this incident happened. My grandmother had come for me to kill her, so I will stop hunting. I couldn't tell my wife what happened in the forest. I asked her to use some money I had given her to save, to pay for my son's fees. My wife didn't understand my sudden change. I was unusually quiet. When I felt the need to tell her, I told her all that had happened in the forest, and what my grandmother told me. This was how I swore to never take another life, vowing to protect and cherish the creatures of the forest. My grandmother's spirit remained with me. I always feel her presence with me, guiding me towards a path of redemption and respect for all living beings. My encounter with my grandmother reminded me of the interconnectedness of all life and the consequences of our actions. Right now, I've dedicated my life to preserving and honoring the natural world around me. Brother, I will tell you these coming days, another thrilling encounter with my grandmother when I started this new way of life. Bless you for the good works you're doing for our people.
My brothers and sisters, these are not just stories for story's sake. They are meant for us to learn from the mistakes our brothers and sisters are making. That's why we share these stories with you. This is a story of his encounter that changed him for better. As I always say, whether one believes in what is true or not, it doesn't change the fact that it is true. Reincarnation is a topic when brought up, people look at it with a certain eye. But the truth about what we think we know about the spiritual world is just like a drop in the ocean. The forest represents with the humans on the surface of the earth. Let us treat the trees, forest, and the animals with respect. For when we treat them right, nature will also treat us right. I will leave you here. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.